Guys, we're about to talk about maybe the most annoying and unhinged person on the online left. If you even want to go so far as to say that he is left-leaning. Many people would just say he's a conservative or just a right-wing anti-Semite that pretends to be left-leaning. But regardless of that, this guy has grown immensely over the last year. He used to be this little, like a little gnat kind of flying around annoying people, and, sometimes he'd get really unhinged and send death threats. He's been banned from Twitter for it like 1,000,000 times. He's on, God, I don't know what, his 500th account at this point. It's quite insane. Regardless, though, most people didn't take him super seriously. He was considered the kind of person that you would just ignore, and that was the best way to handle him. But recently, he's become quite the ardent defender of Hassan Piker, mostly because Hassan is so, ardently anti-Israel, and this is no secret. Bannapanada wants Israel to burn. I think he said multiple times it should be glassed. He frequently makes jokes about killing all Israelis and how Israelis are evil. He wants that entire country wiped off the face of the earth and all its people dead, basically. At least that's the impression he gives, and I don't even know if he would deny that, to be honest. He's had some quite funny little stunts. He's played that one game that's all about being like a Hamas guy killing IDF soldiers, and he was playing it talking about how he's gonna find Ethan Klein's wife Hila and kill her in the game, or pretend that the IDF soldiers in the game are Ethan Klein's wife and kill them. And it's him fantasizing, but he's doing a whole bit on stream. Yeah, Bannapanada's pretty unhinged. And let me just say, I know a lot of creators who have told me stories about their dealings with the guy that they have not made public because they don't want to give him the satisfaction of acknowledgement of those things. But I will tell you that there are a good handful of content creators who have had some very unpleasant interactions with this guy, and by that I mean borderline criminal. He is insane, but it turns out he's not just insane, he's also litigious as fuck. Apparently, he's taken to, since he became Hassan's attack dog and grew to well over I think he's getting close to 200,000 subs or more now. Now that he's blown up so large and he makes so much more money now, he's gotten very litigious. He started throwing lawsuits at anybody who criticizes him. Notably, this YouTuber Drew Pavlu, who apparently called him out for his insane behavior, and in response, Bannapanada tried to sue him, and it failed spectacularly. And so Drew Pavlu here made a video called "Bannapanada Tried to Sue Me, and I Won." And I thought we'd watch it because it just came out yesterday. And, it doesn't have an insane amount of views or anything, so I thought, why not bring some attention to this? Why not show why we don't like the Hassan orbit of the internet? Because while Hassan and most of his closer friends don't behave like Bannapanada, they still use him as their attack dog, right? The reason Bannapanada went from, being a nobody to hundreds of thousands of subscribers is because of non-stop shout-outs by Hassan. He's just an attack dog, right? So I figure now it's time we finally acknowledge the feral, set loose, barking dog running the neighborhood biting babies. I think it's about time we acknowledge this problem. Can you provide that claim, please? Can I provide for what claim? That he sues people? We're about to watch the video.
One of the worst YouTubers tried to sue me. I completely destroyed him. Here's how it happened. Now, Bannapanada is a particularly sick and disgusting Greek. A Greek Australian Hamas supporter living in Buenos Aires. He boasts hundreds of thousands of followers and he's recently been promoted by the single largest online political streamer, Hassan Piker. This is despite the fact that he has explicitly called for the mass murder of all Israelis, as well as terrorist attacks against Jewish civilians across the world. This man is responsible for a reign of terror against hundreds of people online. A campaign that has now escalated to the point where human skulls have been sent to the address of famous YouTuber Ethan Klein. Bannapanada has encouraged this terrifying harassment campaign while boasting about calling child protection services on Ethan simply because his wife is Israeli. In my personal case, Bannapanada Empanada doxed my family members before posting my address and phone number to his followers and literally encouraging them to kill me. Somehow he thought this was a good idea prior to...
Yeah, Bad Empanada's a doxer. Like, if he does not like you, trust me, he is regularly on the hunt for your private information and the private information of your family. And no, the limit for him, the line is not at publishing that information. He is willing to use that information to fuck with you in real life. He has done it before. I don't want to say more than that because the people who told me about their experiences don't want his behavior to be validated. But yeah, that's his MO.
Engaging a random no-win, no-fee Better Call Saul-ass law firm in Australia to try to sue me.
I don't know if any of you guys know Verlisify. If any of you guys follow the Pokemon YouTube community, there's a YouTuber named Verlisify who is unhinged, insane, and his whole thing is like slandering and trying to like besmirch the name of beloved, popular Pokemon YouTubers, right? That's his whole thing. Everybody hates him, and yet he has hundreds of thousands of subscribers. He pulls pretty substantial viewership as well. And a lot of people don't know any better, right? Bad Empanada is basically the Verlisify of the online left, where, yes, it's been years of people calling him out and exposing him as, like, a literal psycho, but nonetheless, he's still around with enough of an audience to have power enough to continue doing insane shit. I don't think Bad Empanada is actually going anywhere. I think he's going to be the left's Verlisify for like the next decade plus.
For defamation of character. This was a huge mistake on his part because I work for one of the best barristers in Australia, Anthony Morris KC, the youngest person appointed silk in the entire Commonwealth in the 20th century. And he's previously represented clients ranging from Australian Prime Ministers to Oasis's Noel Gallagher. Anthony Morris KC sent a letter back to his law firm, basically explaining that it was categorically impossible for Bad Empanada to be defamed by anybody on the planet because his reputation was already so deservedly horrible. We added a letter containing hundreds of his screenshots, and his law firm dropped him as a client almost straight away. Now, Bad Empanada loves to threaten people with defamation.
Imagine someone threatens you with a defamation lawsuit, so you send an email with a whole character sheet about the guy to his lawyer, his like law firm that he hired, and the law firm drops him as a customer. They no longer, they refuse to represent him because they realize how insane and lacking of a case he is once they receive the email from the opposite legal team. Just like, that is how easy it was to get this shot down. They sent his law firm an email, and his law firm dropped him. They just had to send, like, a collage of the shit that this guy's known for doing.
Proceedings. This is actually one of his all-time favorite harassment tactics, and he's used this against dozens of people to try silence their criticism of him. He's now trying to do this against Ethan Klein. Now, because Bad Empanada is so insane, I've decided to open source Anthony Morris's legal letter to him. It shows that Bad Empanada has no reputation to be defamed. Remember, when Anthony Morris KC sent this to his law firm, they dropped him as client immediately. Let's start from the beginning. January 2024. Here's his letter. Dear Mr. Pavlu, our client, George Ganitis, defamation, concerns notice. Very fucking official, very serious, guys.
That's
React
Bad
for Mr.
Empanada.
George Ganitis. Watch out. Our client is a prominent Australian social media personality, known for his YouTube videos containing commentary on various political and social issues. Our client first began posting YouTube videos and now has a subscriber base of over 121,000 people. He is also reasonably popular on Twitter with approximately 30,000 followers. Our client received the Don Gibb Royal Historical Society of Victoria Prize in Australian History in 2019. Holy fuck, guys, watch out. And his videos and writings have been published widely online, including by the literary journal Overland, the online magazine Counterpunch, and independent media outlet Ansainik Fon. Wow, fucking huge. We know that you are also a prominent Australian social media personality, well said, followed by approximately 5,000 people on YouTube and 79,000 people on X. Going to defamatory imputation. It is our client's position that by virtue of the offending publications, he has been defamed by you. Watch out. The offending publications carry or likely carry the following defamatory imputations against our client. A, that he has committed one or more crimes warranting arrest. B, that he hold or has held illegal or improper material on his hard drive. C, that he has committed one or more crimes warranting deportation. D, that he is involved with the brutal guerrilla group The Shining Path. E, that he is a rapist. Well said. F, that he is a murderer. Well said. G, that he is a terrorist. Yup. I, that he is a predator. J, that he's in favor of rape. To date, you have failed.
So these are all the claims that he made that Bad Empanada sued him for, and the lawsuit failed because the law firm Bad Empanada hired did not believe Bad Empanada could lose or could win this defamation case. That's crazy, dude. That they saw all these claims made about him and were like, yeah, sorry, we can't say that these people were knowingly lying or whatever and saying this about you, because they seem to have a lot of reason to think you did these things, actually. And when people have reason to think you did these things, it's not defamation or slander, because intent matters a lot in law. And I assure you, no one here has intent to slander Bad Empanada. He does it to himself with his actions. It's not necessary.
I, that he's a predator. J, that he's in favor of rape. Today, you have failed to apologize publicly or otherwise. Yup, that'd be right. For publishing the offending publications, or publish any retraction or correction of the defamatory imputations. Yes, again, that would be right because they're all true. Pursuant to section 14.2 of the Act, we are instructed to demand and hereby demand that within 28 days of the date you were served with this concerns notice, you will make a suitable offer to make amends to our clients, which includes the following. And this part's brilliant, guys. Really, we really need to emphasize this. A suitably worded apology to our client, first approved by our client. B, an agreement that you will refrain from repeating, circulating, or publishing the offending publications. Again, watch out, guys. C, an agreement that you will, within 48 hours of acceptance of this offer, to remove all videos, posts, comments, and other publications about Mr. Empanada, including the offending publication that you have published online in relation to our client, or its products. E, I love how it's just literally a template, because what fucking products does Bad Empanada offer, mate? E, an offer to pay our client compensation for loss suffered. And F, an offer to pay our client's costs in respect of the preparation and service of this notice in the sum of $4,238.72. Holy fuck. If you fail to properly respond to this notice and address our client's concerns within the timeframe stipulated above, we will take instructions to commence court proceedings against you pursuant to the Act, i.e. upon the expiry of 28 days of receipt of this notice without further notice. Now, friends, it's been 16 months since I received that terrifying, scary letter. I have yet to be taken to court by Bad Empanada. He's yet to commence defamation proceedings against me. Why might that be? Well, unfortunately for him, I had Anthony Morris KC step in to represent me pro bono for free because he agrees with my cause. First, I want to just quickly note my response. Dear Sir, Madam, Mr. Pavlou is currently out of office until the 32nd of February. We will endeavour to respond at the earliest convenience. Best regards, wishes, Alexander Matthew Tim Lee Phillips, the 24th. XVI, personal assistant to Mr. Pavlou. Feast day of St. David
the
Galvan
quote
Bermudez,
at the end of the
Mexican
email.
Revolution. Quote, what greater glory is there than to die saving a soul? St. David on his way to minister to the wounded in a firefight. How beautiful. That was a great message, I think. I think they would have enjoyed receiving that. Now we come to Anthony Morris's letter in reply, which is one of the best letters I've ever read in my entire life. Re Drew Pavlou and George Gonitis. I represent Mr. Drew Pavlou, and he has asked me to respond to your letter of 30 January 2024, purporting to be a concerns notice pursuant to Section 12A of the Defamation Act 2005, Queensland. Mr. Pavlou has provided me with detailed instructions regarding the assertions contained in your letter. However, I find it is unnecessary to engage with all the details contained in a lengthy and somewhat repetitive item of correspondence. That is because Mr. Pavlou has no intention of making amends, either in the manner demanded in your letter or at all. If your client chooses to institute proceedings for defamation, Mr. Pavlou will defend those proceedings and will also counterclaim on the ground canvassed below. No reputation capable of being harmed. Despite the rodomontade contained in your letter under the subheadings background and serious harm, Mr. Pavlou is satisfied that your client enjoys no reputation in Queensland which is capable of being injured by the identified publication. Your letter mentions that your client received the John Gibb Royal Historical Society of Victoria Prize in Australian History in 2019. This prize is largely unknown in Queensland in any way which may be given to it as in...
Bro won by arguing, who the fuck are you? Like, literally who? Was his legal defense, and it succeeded. He legally hit Bad Empanada with a literally who.
Enhancing your client's reputation would depend on the selection criteria for this prize, as well as evidence of its reputational value. More significantly, your letter states that your client is willing to provide sworn evidence. Our client is gratified to receive this assurance as he intends to defend any proceedings on the basis that any reputation which your client may enjoy and any harm which that reputation may have suffered must be viewed in the light of your client's remarks as published to a substantial following on social media. Needless to say, your client will be thoroughly cross-examined on these matters at trial. Without at this stage foreshadowing all of the topics which Mr. Pavlou will plead by way of defence, I attach a bundle of posts made by your client under the pseudonym Bad Empanada. I note that your letter under reply contains explicit admissions that your client is the person behind that name. Collectively, these posts are capable of supporting conclusions that your client, one, has...
I love how many, like, attached items there are in order to back up, you know, his legal defense. Here are some examples. 9/11, this is a claim he made. Bad Empanada said that 9/11 was an attack on a legitimate military target. and claimed that those within the towers were soldiers of Western financial imperialism, and it was there that bureaucrats schemed and carried out operations to indebt other countries, to steal their resources, to bring them into ruin. This is the kind of shit he would tweet. And mind you, this is like his 50th alt account after getting banned for death threats and violent, like, behavior. He usually got bans for violence. Like, that's his... Like, that's what he does when he crashes out, is he starts overtly threatening to kill you. Like, not even implying it or like, hoping for you to get, like, bad things to happen to you. No, he'll just outright say, like, I'll fucking kill you. Like, he'll just go full crash out mode.
Has expressed his open support for prescribed terrorist organizations, including Al-Qaeda, Hamas, and Hezbollah. 2 is an anti-Semite who has called for the mass murder of millions of Jews across the world and who regularly dehumanizes and mocks people of the Jewish faith.
Yeah, if any of you guys want to pause and read those tweets, I assure you, not even close to all of his online behavior that matches these descriptions is included here, but it seems like around 70 plus are, considering that's how many... That is the highest number I see here in reference to attachments, because all these numbers here correspond to like an image that backs up the claim, right? They're like, see attached items 1, 2, 3, 4, 19, 20, 24, 32. See attached items 10, 11, 12, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 21, 27, 28, 19, or 29, 30, 33, and 34, and 65. Basically, there's a lot of evidence included.
3. Regularly defends, makes light of, or mocks horrific atrocities like the Uyghur genocide, the Holodomor, the Russian raising of Mariupol, the Bosnian genocide, and the terrorist campaign
he's
carried out
pro
in
Uyghur genocide too.
4. Has called on his followers to carry out indiscriminate terror attacks against American and Israeli civilians and has called for the killing of both Israeli and American servicemen and veterans, often in an extremely gruesome fashion. 5. Has called on his followers to assassinate the President of the United States of America as well as numerous other elected American officials. 6. Has joked about Hamas raping or assaulting Israeli women and girls and has thereby condoned the use by Hamas of rape as a weapon of war. 7. Has joked about Hamas molesting or assaulting Israeli infants and children and has thereby condoned such molestation and assaults and their use as a weapon of war. 8. Has regularly threatened to kill online critics of Hamas.
Hassan's aware of all this and used to refer to Bad Empanada as unhinged until, of course, Bad Empanada became his attack dog and started glazing for him. And now the reason Bad Empanada has hundreds of thousands of subs that back him up and enable this behavior and financially support this behavior is because of Hassan and his shoutouts.
As well as other political commentators on YouTube and Twitch. 9. Has committed or alternatively has been identified by authorities in Argentina as a person who has committed one or more crimes warranting arrests. 10. Has committed or alternatively has been identified by authorities in Argentina as a person who has committed one or more crimes warranting deportation. 11. Holds or has held illegal or improper material on his hard drive. 12. Regularly threatens to post
hold on.
As a person who has committed one or more crimes warranting deportation. 11.
So here's a message he posted on Discord. I heard something about this but thought it was a meme or a rumor. He said, this is what Bad Empanada apparently said. Yeah, there's a warrant out there for my arrest for some shit I didn't even do. Been spending these past few hours talking to a lawyer. Things likely will not go well. Going to begin wiping my drive just in case I still have shit left over from when I was an edgy teen. This situation feels unreal. Oh. 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 Oh.
Or has held illegal or improper material on his hard drive. 12. Regularly threatens to post the names and addresses of his online critics as a tactic to silence and intimidate people whose political views are different from his own. 13. Has sent death threats to Mr. Pavlu and has openly bragged about commencing illegitimate and unmeritorious defamation proceedings against him as a brazen cash grab. 14. Has falsely referred to Mr. Pavlu as a rapist and a pedo and thereby defamed him and openly admitted to having regularly invented such false allegations as smears against those whom he opposes politically. 15. Has a long history of publicly endorsing child abuse, rape, mass murder, and genocide through his posts, thereby demonstrating that he is a deeply amoral and antisocial individual who poses a very real danger to society. Very well said, Mr. Morris Casey. Going on. There are no fake posts, despite the assertion which you have made on instructions. Mr. Pavlu has not and would not create forged or confected posts, whether in the name of your client or in the name of anyone.
Because like a lot of these tweets are from different accounts because Bad Empanada has been banned so many times and made new accounts every time. Is he outright going to try to claim they're fake? Oh, man. I guess.
All other
Didn't
considerations
work
aside, your
out,
client
but
has more than
still.
sufficiently demonstrated his true character by post, which he has made, without Mr. Pavlov's having to create additional examples. Well said. Why would I have to invent new tweets to attack Bad Empanada when these tweets already exist? In any event, if your client seriously intends to conduct such a case, Mr. Pavlov would invite him to preserve his hard drive in its current condition and have it sealed and notarized so that it may be subjected to proper forensic examination when he comes to Australia for the purpose of testifying at the trial. And this is the best part. Tony used this letter as a kind of Uno reverse card to advance my own counterclaim against Mr. Ganitis. As previously mentioned, should your client choose to institute proceedings, Mr. Pavlov will be counterclaiming for the harm caused to him by your client's publications, falsely accusing him of being a rapist and a pedo. For the purpose of Section 12A of the Act, this letter constitutes a concern notice on behalf of Mr. Pavlov. Moving on, the harm that the person considers to be serious harm to the person's reputation caused or likely to be caused by the publication of the matter in question, extreme harm to Mr. Pavlov's reputation having regard to the size of your client's online readership, your client standing as the winner of a prize in history as an author. That part's so good. And just to really Uno reverse card them, Tony uses the claims about Bad Empanada's amazing reputation to say, well, actually, that makes his defamation of Drew Pavlov very serious indeed. 4. The harm that the person considers to be serious harm to the person's reputation caused or likely to be caused by the publication of the matter in question. Extreme harm to Mr. Pavlov's reputation having regard to A. The size of your client's online readership. B. Your client standing as the winner of a prize in history and as an author published in various hard copy and online publications. Mr. Pavlov's position as a prominent Australian social media personality expressly admitted in paragraph 7 of your letter, and also as a former candidate for election to the Australian Senate, a political activist, a prize-winning student at the University of Queensland, and a person who has been widely profiled in respected Australian and international publications. And D. The principal also expressly acknowledged in your letter that it has long been held by the Australian courts that to be called a pedophile is one of the worst possible things that could be said about someone if it were untrue. Yours sincerely, Anthony J. H. Morris, KC. What a letter. What a beautiful letter. Now, 2 weeks after sending that letter, Tony Morris followed up with his lawyers, and that's when we determined that Bad Empanada had completely capitulated. Drew Pavlov and George Ganitis. I refer to my letter of 23rd February 2024, to which I've...
So basically, Bad Empanada gave up. He realized, oh shit, this guy is not just some small 4,000 subscriber YouTuber I can bully with, bullshit, bogus legal threats. This guy actually has connections and clap back hard with the willingness to countersue for actual defamation claims that he'd made. So yeah, pretty fucking hilarious. Mind you, by the way, Bad Empanada lives in, like, Argentina, right? So doesn't that mean that he's still... I think he's still an Australian, right? Does he have some kind of dual citizenship going on, or is he, like, immigrating there? I don't know if he's talked about that or whatever, but... Like, he's trying to sue an Australian, and it seems like he's getting sued as an Australian and would have to come back to Australia to defend himself. So I guess he decided, oh shit, this is too real. I'm going to stay here in Argentina and not push this any further. But yeah, I mean, this is how Bad Empanada operates. There's literally no line he's not willing to cross to try and destroy your life if he doesn't like you. He is literally just an insane person with a massive internet audience, and he is extremely spiteful and gets into massive personal grievances with creators he doesn't like, entirely one-sided most of the time, and just decides he wants to destroy that person. Right now, his main target is Ethan Klein, and he is not letting up. When you've got someone like this constantly fucking with you, it's easy to, be unnerved and behave in ways that the average, like, bystander that doesn't follow YouTuber drama is unlikely to see and understand or treat charitably. And so a lot of normies have actually fallen for the PSYOP campaign Hassan's community has run against Ethan Klein, whether it be convincing them that he's pro-Israel or pro-genocide, or convincing them that he's just crashing out because of his reaction to having false CPS calls made to try to fuck up his family, or this guy trying to ruin his life by false suing him and making death threats to him, having skulls sent to his house. It's like, if they can basically get Ethan Klein unnerved, he can behave in ways that will do their work for them. Bad Empanada got a lot of goodwill by being against Ethan Klein from Hassan's community. He might have to double down hard if he wants to carry on doing whatever he's doing so far. Wait, a literal skull? Yeah, he had skulls sent to, or someone had skulls sent to Ethan Klein's house. They're, like, ordered from a museum. It's like having pizzas ordered to someone's house, but instead they're like skulls you ordered from, like, a morgue or one of those, like, research places where they study corpses and their decay. It's just like, oh, wow, someone had real human skulls sent to my house. And they know that because they have, like, a barcode on them and stuff. Like, they're They're not like some body that was like dug up or something, or someone who was murdered and their head was sent. It was like they acquired a legally acquired skull and then sent it to their house like it's a pizza, which I'd say is a pretty fucked up prank. I mean, a human skull is pretty cool, and I'd keep it. To be completely honest with you, I'd put it up on the wall for you guys to just be able to see sitting there. Yeah, like, it's still pretty fucked up to send that to somebody, let's be real.
I've received no response. Given that a fortnight has passed since you received that letter, I should imagine that you have had sufficient time to take any necessary instructions. Can you please advise A, whether Mr. Garnidis has any response to the concerns or notice given on behalf of Mr. Pavlou, B, whether Mr. Garnidis intends to institute defamation proceedings as foreshadowed in your letter of 30 January 2024, and C, if not, whether you have instruction to accept service of defamation proceedings to be instituted by Mr. Pavlou against Mr. Garnidis. Yours sincerely, Anthony J.H. Morris, KC. Now, that was the end of it. They never replied. They dropped him as a client and we never heard from them again. Now, in conclusion, I published this legal exchange and this debunking in the hope that it may be of some use to anybody terrorized by Bad Empanada in the future. This guy's legitimately a moral, political, and spiritual terrorist. And he thinks that he has total impunity because he lives in Argentina where the civil court system is broken.
All this stuff now means that anybody can just easily throw together a legal defense that will end any future vexatious litigation on the part of Bad Empanada in the future. Just easily pull this info and be like, nope, sorry, buddy. Like, all the work's already been done. And that's really important. The hardest part of a legal defense is getting all the evidence put together. Now that that's been done and put out, because, like, this guy is a serial suer, you know? He loves to sue people into silence. So now having the hardest part of the work done for anybody else who might be targeted by him in the future, it's a big deal. It means a lot less people are going to be afraid to call him out. Because in the past, like, for the last, like, year or so with his prominence due to Hassan, it's been a pretty big danger as a creator to call him out because he'll try to take you to court over it.
Remember, terrorists only have power if you give them power over you. Never capitulate to his terrorist tactics. Hold strong, call his bluff, and he will fold like he folded above. Thank you so much. Most blessed wishes, Alexander Matthew Tinley Phillips XVI, personal assistant Mr. Pavlou, April 23rd, 2025, the feast day of Holy Glorious Great Martyr and Victory Bearer and Wonder Worker George. Behold, I have given you authority to tread upon serpents and scorpions, and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall hurt you.
Damn. Bro's dropping book quotes. Crazy, crazy book guy. He's got a lot of books behind him. I'm curious what the comments are looking like. Also, where are the confirmation that he is dropping? Also, the letter engaged in reputational harm not being met, not you engaging in literal defamation. You will post the screenshot of a fake tweet, or you still post the screenshot of a fake tweet. So this person is a Bad Empanada fan. Twitterbot tries YouTube, only gets $4 worth of AdSense, laughing, crying emoji. So we got someone making fun of this person for apparently making only $4 off this video. Needs more views, that's good. This man needs more subs, Papa Gut and H3 should see this. Great video. This is literally just a tutorial for every YouTuber to shut down Bad Empanada when he tries to sue them. Just brilliant. 7.9k subs. Lamau, your dad says get a job, Tubby. So that's a Bad Empanada fan. Like, you can kind of get an idea as, like, what kind of people also watch Bad Empanada. It's, like, the most toxic types of people in Hassan's community gravitate towards Bad Empanada. He's kind of like the darkest side of Hassan's community distilled into just that, you know? So yeah, if you ever criticize Bad Empanada's frivolous lawsuits, then you'll have a bunch of people in your replies making fun of you for not making a lot of money, I guess. Yeah, I mean, that's literally the go-to, like, small YouTuber insult is, heh, you're not rich. Trust me, I've gotten that plenty. People make whole hate videos about me based on that premise of attack. Anyway, and if you guys like this video and you want to support it and you watched all the way to this point in the video, consider commenting down below when this goes out on YouTube. Empanadas are good. Because I do like empanadas. And Bad Empanada is besmirching the good name of a good food. So empanadas are good. Comment it down below if you watch this far, and there'll be a link to the original video, which I highly recommend you send some support to. Likes, comments, all that good stuff, down below in the description as well at the very top. And if you want to see more from me on other platforms and, in the future you want to get notified, even if YouTube kind of messes up, you can follow my social medias linked down below. Notably, as well, you should join my fan Discord. It's the main hub of my community and fan base. And on top of that, I announce all my new uploads and streams there and host events every week, so if you don't want to miss anything at all, that's the place to be. Finally, if you want to support me directly, financially, help me keep the lights on and a roof above my head here at the Xander Hall studio, then consider donating, subscribing, or gifting a sub on my website, xanderhall.com/live, or support me through YouTube, Twitch, Streamlabs, Stream Elements, Patreon, or buy some custom Xander Hall merch through the Streamlabs link down below in the description. Regardless of how you support me, though, thank you all so much for watching, and as always, have a good one.